welcome. My name is Amarenske and today I will be doing a quick review of House of Names by Colm Toibin. In short, this book is about the story of Agamemnon's family when Agamemnon decides to sacrifice his daughter to get tailwind in the war. I think that was a little bit literally taken in this book, but also figuratively, of course, because this book is set at least in part during the happenings of the Trojan War. Anyone who knows a little bit about Greek myths has heard the name of Agamemnon. We follow the perspectives of the other children of Agamemnon, Orestes, his son, and Electra, his daughter, and also his wife Clytemnestra. And I thought what was very well done in the writing of this book was that all the characters had not only their own specific voice, but you saw in the writing that Orestes was growing up, because the first time you see his perspective, he is about 7 years old, and in the end of the book he is about 17 years old. I thought that was done very very well thought through, and you could also feel the atmosphere and the uncertainty in the characters that grew with them growing older. You could see, and since the first part is written from Clytemnestra's perspective, you can see her falling down a sort of dark hole after she has to miss her sacrificed daughter Iphigenia. I think that's how you pronounce it in Greek. I have never read fully the source material of this, but I have had ancient Greek in school, so I have a bit of a feeling that I know what this might come from because I knew a little bit about Agamemnon already. So I like the writing, I like how the writing created atmosphere, how it was not overly simplistic but also not overly flowery. What was there to create the atmosphere and the different perspectives and characters of the characters was in there and was done very very well, but nothing really more. But it felt so strong and like you were in there. It didn't need anything more. I just loved the way that was done. I also loved the way the characters were very distinct in and of themselves outside of the writing, because that is just proof that the author was very well able to create different perspectives and different characters. I loved the way the setting was built. I constantly thought about a lot of forests and stuff, but this is set in ancient Greece, where is probably a little bit more on the drier side. They are talking about mountains and deserts and different types of weather, so you can see that it takes place in different areas of one, I think, island, since Greece already consisted back then out of so very many isles. Anyway, in short, I love this. I recommend it, unless you don't like or get triggered by reading about murder, animal abuse, animal killings, sacrifice, or any type of bloody or gory content, because this book does not shy away from brutality. I had no clue it would get so graphic at certain points when talking about murder and sacrifice and stuff. I mean, it could be way more graphic, but still was quite graphic. But I still love it. This is the way I want my retellings to be told, and I hardly ever come across it. There's always something that makes me dislike a retelling more than the original content or more than an original story. And that was not necessarily the case with this one. I like the Odyssey and the Greek stories, but I had hardly ever read anything from this perspective, so that's probably why I like this. And I have no urge to look heavily for the source material because I have no time. But, well, that was it for now. It's turning into a ramble instead of saying, if you're interested in a nicely written, well done retelling of a Greek myth, check out House of Names by Colm Toibin. Thank you for watching en tot een keer.